Hey, how you doing? I'm Dave Fenoy, and I want to say I'm really into the Spawn on Me podcast, and I know it sounds like you're going to get something on you that needs to be washed off, but no, really, it's not like that.
Hey, party people, welcome to episode 264 of the Spawn on Me podcast, which will also serve as our Thanksgiving holiday special. This is not your captain, but our captain is here. I've rescued him. He's been dipping out from shows. I had to grab him by his collar like before he was leaving for school with his lunchbox. And remind him that you got to be on a show once in a while, man. So I am Shareef Jackson, and I'm joined by our captain, Kahlief Adams. How you doing?
Let go of my collar, Reef. Goddamn, I'm just trying to walk outside. Why can't
I let go of that collar?
Damn! Did you tell me to put Vaseline on my face before I went outside? It was super cold. Did you take a gob of Vaseline and put it on the side of my face and then make me rub it all the way into the rest of it?
Yeah, it's basically like the like I got you looking like the dude. Wasn't Ralphie? It was his little brother in A Christmas Story. That was like just mad stiff with like his arm, like he couldn't bring his arms down.
There will be no ashy children in this Jackson family. God damn it!
That's right. Yeah. I hated when my mom did that. She definitely did do that Vaseline shit. Like she would just It was like she would do like a Hadouken of Vaseline, like on your face. Like
we have to name the episode Hadouken of Vaseline.
That's what she would do though. She would just just form that fireball, and like you can't block it.
Yeah, you couldn't block it. It was an unblockable move. The weird thing is, I wonder if black mothers understood just how bad that shit was for your skin. It was a weird, you have no pores anymore. You just have Vaseline inside all of your skin texture.
Seal them up.
But it's weird because it's like the whole black don't crack thing is real. But I wonder how much of that is based off of Vaseline products as opposed to just good genetics. It could be a combination of the two.
I mean, to be real, I think a lot of people that people hold up as black don't crack usually exercise a lot, eat pretty well, and do all that stuff. I feel like black don't crack does not involve people that, smoke a lot, drink a lot. Don't exercise. I don't think it's like you could just do nothing and be like stunningly beautiful at 60. You know what I mean?
Man, listen, I eat McRibs all day, every day. My skin is beautiful. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you mean.
It just like glistens with the secret sauce of a Big Mac. Like you fucking
McRib juices.
You just secrete that shit every time you sweat.
Who came in here smelling like McRib? I'm sorry, it was me. My bad.
Now, is that what you have for Thanksgiving? Did you have like a big McRib and stuffing? Is that what you had?
Yeah, we basically formed like 16 McRibs in the shape of a turkey, and then put stuff inside of it to kind of give that festive feel.
Sweet.
The cool thing, the best part about doing a McRib turkey is you have to get those little paper hats that usually go on the ends of the turkey legs.
Oh, okay.
But there's no legs on the McRib, so you have to just stick them on the top so it looks like ears.
Oh man. I like that.
Cool.
So thank you everyone for joining. We just wanted to give you a quick little holiday show. We both, just finished celebrating the holidays. Every year I go to my dad's house. It's really the one time a year where I can count on seeing my dad's side of the family, or like my step family and my dad and stuff. So I flew over to East Orange, New Jersey. Shout out. And we all hung out and talked about things that we did, like how relatives that weren't there ain't shit. And politics and this small little snowstorm that somehow ground northern New Jersey to a halt about a week ago. It was like I think they predicted like 3 inches, and it ended up being like 6 or 7, but still like apparently they didn't salt or anything. So it was like a scene from the apocalypse, or like a scene from when like Atlanta gets snow, where it's just accidents upon accidents upon accidents. It was a crazy, but I had a good time though. Got to hang out with my brother, and then I saw my mother the next day. So yeah, it was a pretty quick trip though. I flew down on Thanksgiving morning, and I flew back on Saturday. Pro tip, y'all. If you could fly on Thanksgiving morning, it is the best time to fly.
Really?
I flew out of O'Hare Airport, probably the second most busy after Atlanta. There was no traffic there. The airport was, well, for O'Hare, it was empty. Like the security line was like a couple minutes. It was, if you can make it there by Thanksgiving dinner and like you could fly in the morning, I'm telling you, do that shit. Do it.
Damn.
Yeah, pro tip.
That's a good pro tip. I didn't know that. I always expected any holiday to be like mad packed with everybody.
I mean, it's mad packed on Tuesday and Wednesday for sure.
Yeah.
But that Thursday morning, I'm telling you, it's so don't tell anyone. This is only a Bricago secret.
Word.
So, Akai, what did you do for Thanksgiving? Did you perform genocide on any populations?
I performed genocide on some lettuce and some pears. Oh. Well, not even. We didn't even do the killing this year. We had someone else do the killing. Usually, I will make my root beer ham for festive events like that. If you want the recipe, let me know. I'll hit you in your DMs with the recipe.
Nice. Saw some pics,
but
look good.
Yo, man, we didn't do it this year. I may do it for Christmas, but it depends on if we go away for Christmas. But we went to a friend's house, and they had Friendsgiving, which was really nice.
Nice.
I don't really have any family that I actually go see or talk to anymore. So
yeah, but I mean,
we don't really.
I mean, your wife's family is, you guys are all family.
I mean, kind of.
Right?
I mean, if you want to call it that, I guess.
Legally
so.
family.
I mean, we're married and stuff.
Your legal family.
My legal family. But I mean, we have decided that we are like gonna skip some years because we're all grown and we don't really care and we don't need presents and all that other stuff. So it's like Thanksgiving is like one of those things where we kind of save those trips to see her family for either in the summertime where it's like you can go outside and go do stuff, or we used to go back for Christmas, but religion killed that. So
damn religion.
Religious things like botched that whole thing, and then we were like, nah, this is too religious.
I like the Friendsgiving though. I like the idea of that.
It was really nice because it was like folks who, because really, when Portland is this interesting kind of transient city where a lot of people who come here or people who live here aren't from here originally. So you'll notice that a lot of folks who are from out of town, they're like, well, I didn't go see my family. I didn't go fly back this year. So we'll try to do something here. So, some of our mutual friends, we all got together on Thanksgiving Day, and hung out, had a really big, like 10-person dinner, and it was dope. The guests, kind of put it on, and we all brought a plate of something. We brought this like really dope salad that was like with, like candied pecans and pears and this crazy dope balsamic vinegar dressing. It was super dope. But I didn't make any actual like food.
Nice job for the people allergic to nuts. Awesome.
Yeah. Shout out to everyone who.
I'm glad I didn't go to your Friendsgiving.
Yeah, friends dying too.
Put those nuts on the side. Damn it.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, you're really right about that.
Nuts on the side.
That was a dick move. That was a dick move that we didn't think about.
Yeah,
I feel so bad about that.
One of the, like, every time I go to a potluck, I usually bring my own shit, like, just in case it's like an emergency, like, situation where literally everything has nuts in it, which happens. Especially like the desserts and stuff, so I always have to have a little stash that I can.
Word. So that was Thursday, and then Friday we hung out with Sterling,
nice.
Sterling McGarvey and fam. I brought over Drop Mix so I can show him how it works.
Oh, very cool.
He's really digging it. So we played a little Drop Mix over at the crib. And then on Saturday, I watched Sarah Marshall with a couple of friends and my wife and got high and watched it. It was great.
Ooh, very cool.
It was fantastic. I feel like that needs to become a new holiday tradition. So I need to go watch Forgetting Sarah Marshall, get high, and then watch it and then chill out. But it was a really good couple of days. It was really nice to kind of sit back and relax and be thankful for all the stuff that's happened this year with family and friends and with the crew. And it's been nice to reflect about that stuff with the year kind of almost coming to an end pretty soon. So yeah, it was dope. I liked it. It was really fun.
Yeah. I've definitely been reflecting too a lot about, obviously thank you to everyone listening right now. Whether if you're just listening, if you retweet, if you Patreon, all that stuff, just thank you to everyone that does all that for sure. It's been a great year. And, for me personally and in terms of the show as well. So yeah, it's I think even though, obviously the origins of Thanksgiving are not great.
Right.
I do try to take the positive meanings of it, just to just be thankful for like what you have,
Yep.
And, so, what we wanted to do for this show was, so Spawn on Me has been around for like a little over 5 years. And I wanted to go back and look at the games that dropped around Thanksgiving for the last 5 years, not including this year. And I wanted to see if we could talk about those games in retrospect, see kind of how they hold up, and kind of see like what we think is, maybe the strongest out of the last 5 years. Now, I didn't list every single game, but I did try to list at least some of the games that I saw while going to Wikipedia, which has a pretty great list of like, if you go to any year, like 2018 in gaming, they basically have every release by date, Yeah. So like I just took kind of like late October and all of November pretty much. And like I tried to pick out some. So let's go back and let's start at the earliest year that I chose, which is 2013. Very important year because the PS4 and Xbox One dropped this year.
Good vintage.
And in terms of the exclusives that were of note, for the PS4, you had Killzone. What became, I don't think people expected this to be a big game, but it ended up being one. Resogun. Sound Shapes. And then for the Xbox One, you had Rise, Son of Rome, aka Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and Dead Rising 3. And then for
oh man,
yeah. And then for cross-platform, you had Battlefield 4. I believe that was the first one with the what they call it, like the Levolution. Was that what it was called? The Levolution, right? Yeah,
I think it was Levolution.
Yeah, I think it was called
blow up
that.
everything.
Man, I want to be a marketer, man. This motherfucker's just. We have a title that I actually forgot existed: Call of Duty Ghosts. I literally forgot that title existed, and I play all the Call of Duties, and I forgot Ghosts existed, and I think they forgot it existed as well.
Thank God.
And also, I forgot to mention one other Xbox exclusive that I think is of note as well. Killer Instinct, also a launch title for the Xbox One. And Zelda Link Between Worlds for the 3DS, which was one of my favorite Zelda games, really, out of all the ones that have come out. Phenomenal game. Really one of the few 3DS games that actually justified like the 3D and actually used it in a way that actually added to the game instead of just being just like, hey, some things are closer to you now, Yeah, so, God, what do you think about 2013 in retrospect? What do you think?
Well, it's interesting that you brought up, and thank you for putting this list together, because now I'm like really going through it, and I'm just like, man, there's so many really important touchstone and tentpole games in this particular list for the show, for Spawn on Me proper, and for those big systems that came out. Just off the top, like, if folks have never understood what the kind of meaning behind the name of our show is, it is definitely an homage to the Battlefield series. And Battlefield 4 was one of my, and still I consider, the best Battlefield game to have ever come out.
Nice. It was good.
Spawning on me was the thing that you had to do to make sure that you were going to succeed in that game, and hence the name of our show. And Sound Shapes, which is really interesting. If anybody who follows me on Twitter knows, Sound Shapes was one of the integral games that kind of formulated, our ability to get some notice in the industry. I kind of started off in that space, kind of tracking down and interviewing folks from the Sound Shapes community when they were putting out content. And that kind of helped to get us on the map when PlayStation Blog asked us to kind of work collaboratively with them back in the day. So I have a very special place in my heart for the Sound Shapes game. I even have like a huge poster that is signed that sits right next to me. It's like this huge thing that's in the room. I shouldn't have touched it because now it's going to fall. Don't touch it. While we're recording.
Don't touch it.
But like games like Killzone and Resogun were some of the like biggest launch titles that I would think that usually have flops when you have launch titles, and Killzone set a standard that we still are now just kind of broaching, right, in terms of graphical fidelity,
it was a beautiful in terms game, of for sure.
Ideas of what video games could look like, even with that bugged out the big PS3 trailer that they had that was all CGI, and everybody was like, "There's no way in hell this game's gonna look like that."
Yeah.
That started that whole controversy, but it was, gave people hope to see like, in a couple of years, like games are gonna look crazy. Resogun was one of the things that brought voxels into the world in a real way. People didn't even know what that term was until that game became a thing. And it's also really interesting that you brought in Rise. It was funny because I had never played Rise in any form or capacity until early this year. And I mean, it was I always call it like the cartoon ham bone game, because as soon as you cut somebody's arm off, it looked like a cartoon ham on the end of it. It was fantastic though, because it was like this really dope kind of foray into that time period, which kind of talks about some of the games that we're going to see later in 2014 and beyond. But 2013 for me personally, for the show, for the gaming community, was like a huge year in terms of big games that we saw that were kind of changing the way that we think about the stuff that we're playing now.
Yeah, and I didn't include it on here, but what'd you think of Knack? What do you think of Knack?
It's weird. I didn't play Knack when it launched either, because I was like, this is a kid's game. I don't want this game. And then came back to it some years afterward. And Knack is a reasonably good game.
Yeah?
Like,
okay.
I mean, it's not great.
I've never played it, so I don't know.
Honestly, the thing I always remembered about Knack had nothing to do with the actual game. It was the fact that it was the thing that made Mark Cerny talk to people. And I was like, Mark Cerny is super, super quiet. He's like super introverted. And to see him out on stage talking about this really interesting kids game was like, wow, this game must be something that he really cares about, because he's out on stage talking about it. So yeah, that was Knack for me. It was interesting playing it later. I was like, oh, this is actually pretty dope. It's not bad.
Yeah. I like Battlefield 4 a lot as well. I think 3 might be my favorite. But 4 is definitely very, very good. Actually, my favorite times about 4 is when they re-released the maps from Battlefield 3. Because I played the shit out of Battlefield 3. Call of Duty Ghosts, honestly, I thought was a game that was going to kill Call of Duty. Like, I thought that they were going to take a couple years off. That game was bad. Like, I had to look it up to remember. That was the one where they introduced, like, that dog.
Yeah.
His name was
Boomer?
Right.
Not Boomer.
Well, love Boomer. I think it was Riley. I think if I remember right.
Yes.
And the dog
you're right.
and the dog would just keep dying, and it was just bad. It like the plot was bad. The shooting fell off. It sucked. I must say, Killer Instinct, though, I think is one of the more successful resurrections of a franchise that I've seen, of like any kind of franchise that I've seen. That game, when it came out, at first I was a little pissed off because like, oh, they're only releasing a couple of characters and you gotta do this. But when I played it, I was like, this plays so well. And I'm usually very biased against fighting games that are not Street Fighter style or Injustice, like Mortal Kombat style. And like the original Killer Instinct, I always thought looked cool, but it just seemed like it was on autopilot. Like when you would do combos, you would press like 3 buttons and your guys would hit them like 12 times. You'd be like, what is going on? But it felt really good. So I think that they did a bang up job. Unfortunately, I do not share your opinion of Rise. I think Rise is awful. Now I played it on the PC when it was ported. I caught it on a Steam sale it was like literally like $5, and I picked it up. I thought it was beautiful. It looked great, but it was clearly like, hey, check out our great looking console, and now play a QTE for 5 hours. I thought both PS4 and the One. I mean, in retrospect, I think their launch lineups were pretty weak, but not out of the ordinary for most console launches. Like most console launches, I feel like most modern console launches are fairly weak. I like most of these games, so I think it was cool. And I gotta somehow play Knack, man. I gotta go download it on the PlayStation Store or something.
I'm telling you, you should do a live tweeting or stream of Knack.
Sweet.
And then go back, because that would be a lot of fun. Like to go back to see some of those games. I thought about that actually with Killzone 2 the other day, and I was like, oh man, like I was going through my PSN library, and I was like, oh man, I haven't played this thing in forever. Like I loved this game because I thought it was doing some really cool stuff. We should maybe go back and play some.
It could be a good idea. I mean, like I usually play old games during the Spawn for Good stuff. It could definitely be a thing, for sure. All right, so let's move up to 2014. 2014, we have a game which was actually just ported to PC about a month ago. Sunset Overdrive. We have Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, aka Kill Kevin Spacey. Which I liked a lot, actually. Assassin's Creed Unity, which again I thought it kind of did kill these. Well, it didn't kill the Assassin's Creed. It killed
the studio.
Yeah. It like killed like the annual Assassin's Creed stuff. Like that's when they were like, whoa, we gotta slow down a bit. Dragon Age Inquisition, which I wish we had Tanya on because she's obviously a huge proponent of that game. I played a little bit of it. It's fucking cool. I just wish I had the time to really dedicate to it. And then, of course, the game that pretty much owned that holiday and pretty much every day after it, GTA 5. Incredible. Shadow of Mordor, which, again, like the Nemesis system and all that, just made that an incredible game. Far Cry 4, and also Smash Brothers for the Wii U also dropped around that time. So I thought this was a decent year. I didn't think it was as strong as 2013 though. What are your thoughts about these games?
Well, I mean, Sunset Overdrive, I still hold really dear to my heart. It's weird because it's like when I see these lists, I'm like, damn, I didn't finish this. Didn't finish this game. Shit, didn't finish this game. And I'm like, oh man, I still have to go back and do it. Like Sunset Overdrive, now that's on PC, I feel like I want to start over and do it on PC because it's going to look really beautiful.
Right.
And that game looked good on Xbox when it first came out.
Incredible. Yeah.
It was like a mind-blowingly beautiful game.
It was like Jet Set Radio to me. It like reminded me of Jet Set Radio.
Yeah, like I love the death animations when you'd come back and it would always be different.
Yeah.
That stuff was really smart. Call of Duty Advanced Warfighter, that was when I felt like they started to jump the shark a little bit. and I was like, they're doing a little bit too much. And now look at the whole Fall from Grace with Kevin Spacey too. I was like, that's like another secondary, like, this was a telltale sign that something was going to go wrong. Now that we know in retrospect, like looking backwards, you're like, oh man, that was a sign. Assassin's Creed Unity, I did not play at all.
Thank God, I did,
because I heard how badly that game was coded. And heard about all the stuff. Dragon Age Inquisition, interestingly enough, I bought on launch and then didn't like it. Mm-hmm. It's hard to remember what my exact feelings were, but I didn't necessarily care for the combat system that much. I thought it was cool in idea, but not in practice. GTA 5 is, again, like a seminal game. I still haven't finished GTA 5 either. I usually don't finish GTA games because they're just so damn long.
Yeah, and I do have a correction. The November 2014 was for the re-release for PS4 and Xbox One. The original one came out in September 2013 for the PS3 and 360. But.
Gotcha. But nobody was playing that, and I'm just playing. Yeah, but I feel like that GTA when it got bumped up.
Oh,
to the new res and everything,
it still sold even more.
Yeah. It's still sells.
Everyone rebought it. Everyone rebought it.
Yeah, I rebought it.
Yeah, everyone did.
Shadow of Mordor was game changing. Like, I didn't understand how dope the Nemesis system was until the second game, where they refined it some more.
Yeah,
but the Nemesis system was one of those things where you were like, I want this in every game.
Yeah,
and that's rare. Like, that's a rare thing that you see, that you're like, yo, this system would work well in here. Like, imagine the Nemesis system in the world of Spider-Man or Batman.
Yeah.
Or, like, it would work so well. It would be so dope. And then Smash, I didn't play Smash because when I bought my Wii, when did the Wii come out? Like, do you remember what year that was?
2012.
The Wii U?
2012. It was a year before the one in the PS4.
Okay, because I think I bought a Wii U and then gave it away 2 months later because I was like, I don't like this
thing. I thought it was sooner than that.
It was like 2 months. It was literally like 2 months. I was like, I gave it to my wife's nephew. I was like, you could use this.
That was like the weirdest console launch I think I've ever seen. Because I remember it came out, people didn't really know it came out. It was like I remember going in and buying one, and it was like everybody was like, what do you like? What is that? Like, I was like, and I was in a GameStop. I was like, what do you mean? What is it? Wow, what a fucking.
Do I need a balance board for this? Does it come with batteries? Is it
awful launch and falling.
So 2014 was actually really dope. Yeah. I think there were some good games in there that shined a lot. And Far Cry was again like one of those games that you felt like you had an understanding of what that game had the potential to be, and then it kind of did some extra stuff that made it feel a little bit special in the way that it was like so open and so many weird things that would just happen in the world around you.
Yeah, see, Far Cry 4 is when I started getting a little tired of the Far Cry formula. Yeah. Far Cry 3 I really enjoyed a lot. Far Cry 4, I loved the villain was cool, for sure. And I also loved how I remember reading how in Far Cry 4, like the beginning cinematic, like you're eating with this guy, and then he says like, "I'll be back" or whatever, and then you use that time to escape. I remember reading that you could sit there and wait, and he eventually does come back. Yeah, and then like the game ends or like something like that, which is so cool. Which is a cool little thing.
Yeah, I think they had that in 5 too. I think they had it in the most recent one where you meet the father and you can do that same kind of interaction again.
Yeah. I just love when devs put that stuff in. All right, 2015. Here we have Halo 5. Black Ops 3, which is pre-I. Fallout 4, which is which now seems like a perfect non-buggy mess after seeing Fallout 76. Rise of the Tomb Raider, which I believe was our game of the year that year, or if it wasn't, it was very close. and Star Wars Battlefront, the first one. I've not played Halo 5, but I've heard literally universally negative things about it. And not just like, this isn't as good as, the best Halos, but like, this is bad. Like, I've heard that from a lot of people. I'm not sure if people just got disappointed because their hopes were up. I mean, it is Halo. But I don't know. I get the feeling that this game was actually not good. Like, it wasn't just like it's mediocre for a Halo game. It's like, nah, this isn't good. Have you played it?
Yeah, I definitely played it. I bought it.
Yeah.
And it's weird because like I kind of fell out of Halo's favor a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I played ODST, and then I think there was something after that. Reach. Yeah. But I mean, I honestly, and that's weird because Halo 5 now has made a really dope comeback in terms of esports and competitive stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, it's still going super strong in MLG and all those other kind of big major leagues. But the reason I think that Halo 5 didn't do well is all because of Mike Coulter. Mike Coulter is the reason why Halo 5 was a bad game, and everything Mike Coulter touches turns to shit.
Dab on him.
So, dab on him. Yeah. Oh my god, it's like a reverse dab. He like reverse dabbed, and then Halo 5 became a shitty game. But I blame Mike Coulter. So if you ever want to figure out like what the actual like NPDs were and all the other stuff, it doesn't really matter. Mike Coulter is the reason why Halo 5 didn't do well. But I did play it. I thought it was okay. Like, they added some new dope weapons that were like based on the alien tech, and I forgot what it was called, but it had like a really cool name. Was it progenitor weapons or something like that?
Yeah, I forgot the name.
It was something like that, but it was dope because it was like that old 80s cartoon. Oh, not 80s cartoon. 80s live action TV show. Oh man, damn it! It was like Lightman or something like that, where the dude had a Lamborghini and he was all neon. Damn it, I forgot the name of that show. Anybody in Chicago, you know what I'm talking about. If you're old,
Lightman,
you know what that show is. Know. It was like Lightman or something like that, and he actually had a Destiny like ghost. Oh shit! I didn't remember that until now. He had like a Destiny like ghost that was called Cursor.
I am literally drawing a blank on this.
Oh my god! I have to find out what this thing is called. I know what it's called, but I can't remember the name of it.
All right.
I'm sure people on Twitter, when you hear the show, you'll remember it. But
Automan.
Automan. Yes, it was Automan.
Automan.
Yes.
I just looked it up.
Automan. Good.
Thank you. Not Google. Heard of this at all.
Oh really? Oh my god! You have to watch.
It looks
Automan.
like Tron.
Automan.
Kind of.
Yes, it looks like Tron, but those guns look like stuff that was in Tron or Automan or something like that.
Oh wait, I have seen this. I have totally seen this. Right? I don't remember. I don't remember the name, and I definitely don't remember the ghost. But interesting.
Yeah. Anyway,
wow. Black Ops 3, man. I thought that was when they were trying too hard to be Titanfall, man. They tried to put the wall run in, and they just try to make it too futuristic. And I think especially next to Titanfall, which was like just, in my opinion, an amazing launch to a franchise. It just looked bad. But Black Ops 3, I thought the multiplayer was garbage. I mean, story was okay, but the multiplayer was garbage.
Yep.
Now I remember with Fallout 4, I remember you being a little down on it. After playing a little bit of 76, are your thoughts on 4 change at all?
I feel it's like if you were to have two human beings who were like the personification of two games, you'd have them both, like Fallout 4 and 76, being really happy, walking and skipping down the street holding hands. Aww, it's like those two games.
Cute.
It's really cute and terrible. It's like two shitty games holding hands, running down the street, being happy with each other. Fallout 4 really made me mad, actually. I was like, this is a terrible, awful story wrapped around a bad engine with not fun mechanics. And then 76 came out, and it is literally another offshoot of that same thought process, where I'm going to play more of it because I feel like that game has some good narrative threads in it, but the actual stuff that you're doing doesn't feel fun. Like, it didn't feel fun when I was doing it by myself. It didn't feel fun when I was doing it with other people. It just is not a fun game. So I don't know what they're going to do with the rest of that game. But what I really want to hold on to 76 for is to get to the point where I can see a nuke go off, and then I'll never probably play that game again.
Nice. Yeah. I don't think we need to say any more about Rise. I mean, it was our game of the year, so we fucking love that game. Battlefront is interesting because I remember being super hyped. I mean, this was like Force Awakens time, you know? Yep. I was super back in my Star Wars mode. I thought it was cool. It got a weird, had a lot of microtransactions and all that kind of stuff. And it had kind of the EA thing where you have to overcome the fact that you're a shitty company, with like every launch that you do that's not a BioWare release. Well, now, since Andromeda, now they do kind of have that. It was a high profile game. Didn't really hit it. But so even though Battlefront and Black Ops, I feel like Rise, man, is so good. And I did like Fallout. I think 2015. I still up till now, I still think 2013 is up there for me.
Absolutely.
But we'll see as we go on. So 2016, we got Titanfall 2, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. The warfare is infinite. We're in space. Dishonored 2, and Watch Dogs 2.
Ooh, yeah, man, that's a good list. So Titanfall 2, I think, is one of the most underrated games in the past couple years, because I feel like that game did narratively stuff that we hadn't seen. Like it did the like human big robot story and a connection story in a way that I thought was really, really good, and it was something I did not expect actually to have some poignant moments in it. I did not expect that game to do that. Plus, it had a really, like, the combat around the single player and then the multiplayer stuff that they added into it was really, really good. And that game just came out at the worst time.
It really did.
It just came out at a bad time. And I was like, man, this game would be held up, I think, in some really good light if it wasn't released in that really bad time slot.
Yeah, because the one game I forgot to mention, but I did mean to mention, it launched right around Battlefield 1, which also came out this year. And everybody was super hyped because they were going back to World War One. They were like, fuck all this future shit. And the game sold like gangbusters, and Titanfall 2 just did not have the server population.
It's so funny though. It's so weird because I hated Battlefield 1.
A lot of people
did not like that game. I did not like that game. It was not a good game. And to see that Titanfall 2 got pooped on because everyone was excited about Battlefield looking really pretty.
It looked really good.
I was like, oh, you can ride on a horse and chop people while people shooting at people.
Awesome,
I'm like, this shit is. It was good for the one time that I did it, and then I never did it again because it was bad. It was bad. It was like the worst aiming.
I like Battlefield 1.
I hate Battlefield 1. Battlefield 1 was a terrible game. Anyway,
I hate Kahlief 1.
I hate Shareef 2. Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Was it Infinite Warfare? It's weird. Like, I think that game had a reasonable idea surrounding it. Like, I am one of the people who, when it comes to the kind of conversation about like, should we be moving forward or backwards when it comes to big AAA shooters in terms of setting, I am like, I don't want any more old weapons. I don't want us going back to World War One. I don't want us doing any of that stuff. I want us to be in the future. I want to see what people will think about in terms of new tech and new guns and new weapons and all that kind of stuff. And Call of Duty IW did a good job of putting it into a realistic space where you felt like, oh, this is future tech that, the military that will probably have and we'll be able to see maybe go in a good direction. I just really wish Battlefield would take that step. Like, I want to see Battlefield go to 2040, whatever the hell it was when it first started.
Yeah, they had Battlefield 2042, yeah.
Yeah, and they've never gone back to a futuristic idea of a Battlefield game, which bugs me out. I don't understand that. But Call of Duty was an okay game. It was reasonable in that space, but it didn't feel that different from AW.
Yeah,
So,
that's
like,
what pissed me
it didn't
off
feel
about
that
it.
different.
Like they threw all this future stuff, and then it looked and controlled exactly the same. I'm like, yes, there were parts where you were flying around and and doing shit, and it looked different. But I was like, it still felt like the same.
Interestingly enough, the best part about Call of Duty IW was the PSVR game that came out. That was like the advanced tactics, some shit. I forgot what it was called. But that PSVR game was really dope, actually, because that was like an early add-on to the PSVR. It was a game that was attached to a franchise that people heard of before, so it sparked people's interest in getting into VR spaces. And it was fairly good. Like, it was pretty chill. It wasn't great, but it was like a good beginning step into VR for the Call of Duty franchise, which I'm surprised they haven't gone back to in some way, having had multiple games out now since that. So I don't know. We'll see if that ever becomes another thing.
Yeah. Now, Dishonored 2, I never played. Did you play it?
Yeah, Dishonored 2 is great.
Yeah, I've never been a big Dishonored fan, so I kind of stayed away from it.
It's weird because, like, Dishonored, in theory, again, is one of those games that, like, the minute-to-minute stuff that you're doing isn't really that compelling. But when you use the systems against other stuff, like when you use the systems that are there against the enemies, that's where that game flourishes. Like, I've yet to finish a Dishonored game because I just don't finish games anymore. Dishonored, I just don't finish games at all. But it does always feel like when you've gotten your powers together that you can do some really cool shit. And then you get to see the, like, Rube Goldberg machine kind of work. Right?
Nice.
You get to, like, do the things and, like, oh, this person's going to fall into that and then they're going to die over here because I poisoned these rats or I became a rat, whatever. Like, all those things are still really good. So, and Dishonored 2, I think, brought, with its DLC, like, a black woman as the main protagonist.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
Which I still didn't get a chance to play. I think it was on sale a little while ago, but it was really cool to see a disabled black protagonist be the front of one of the games.
Awesome. Speaking of black protagonists, Watch Dogs 2, Marcus, probably still my favorite protagonist in a game of the last years that I can remember. Freaking love that game. Definitely the most improved player, Watch Dogs in a franchise. Absolutely trashed the first one, and this one was phenomenal. I actually need to play through it again because it was really good.
Yeah, me too.
And like I never played any of those DLCs or anything that they dropped for it. But yeah, very, very good game. So this is a strong year, man. Holy crap.
Yeah. Watch Dogs 2 was the first protagonist that I literally could say I have been this person in some form or fashion. Yeah, like he is definitely me and a lot of people I know in real ways. So it was like Watch Dogs 2 was like super dope.
Yeah,
the game is like still holds up really well.
Really, really dope. And then our final year last year, where maybe one of the greatest game days for me, at least in gaming. October 27th, we had Mario Odyssey, Wolfenstein 2, and Assassin's Creed Origins all come out on the same day.
Man, think about that. That's crazy.
That was crazy. And I remember I chose to delay Assassin's Creed because I was like, I can't play all three of these. And then I was mad because after I played Assassin's Creed, I was like, damn it, I should have played this because this would have been in some of my categories on the Smallnies. All three of these games ended up phenomenal. Wolfenstein still, I'm like, has no right to be as narratively good as it is. There's no right. It has no right to treat things like race and stuff like that better than other games that are, trying to be more serious and stuff. It was so, like the game was so crazy that literally Giant Bomb had a whole category like best Wolfenstein scene. Because they couldn't just have best scene because there were too many good Wolfenstein scenes. It's a game that just shocks you over and over again. Very, very good. Call of Duty World War II, not a great game. In my opinion, just not great. Star Wars Battlefront 2, I think is good. I think a lot of people didn't give it a chance, obviously, because they were, because they launched with these microtransactions and they ended up taking them out the game, then putting them back in the game, then promising everything is free. You know, just the standard EA shit where like they're like just not getting it. I think they are gonna get it right for games like Anthem and stuff. You know, and I think that they have kind of gotten it right for like Battlefield 1 and stuff. But yeah. So I mean, to me, just having those 3 games come out on the same day kind of like almost makes this just. I mean, like the year was already like 2017 is already one of the greatest years in gaming, and just having that day is just nuts. Yeah. What are your thoughts on? Because like I know you got a Switch. Have like you had a chance to play Mario Odyssey at all?
It's interesting because I was going to start playing Odyssey again because I've never. I didn't finish it.
Surprise!
I keep feeling bad about that because I keep thinking about it. I'm like, yo, did I finish that shit? No, I didn't finish that shit. But Odyssey like was the thing that made me know the Switch was real. And I was like, okay, I'm not gonna jump because I got on the Switch bandwagon late. I didn't get on it at launch. I got it way later, and I was like asking people what game should I get, and everyone. I think that was pre Zelda. Zelda was out when I got it.
Yeah,
so I got Zelda.
It was
Odyssey
a launch game.
Time.
Yeah,
I got both of those
Zelda
when they came out. And Odyssey, when I threw it in, I was like, oh, okay. I totally understand now why everyone was freaking out about this game. It is absolutely phenomenal. And then Wolfenstein, I had no expectation that game was going to be dope.
Me neither.
Like, I thought that was going to be a budget title in terms of just like what kind of experience you're going to get, even though it was going to be a AAA game. And that thing did so many things well. And I remember very specifically when someone was showing it off on PC and showing off just like that game that game, let me try to use words, was the impetus for me to get a new PC. Because I was like, I'm going to jump into PC gaming and I want a thing that looks this pretty to be the first thing that I play when I actually start to play on PC. And Assassin's Creed Origins, you all know how much we love that game. And it's like, still continues to be one of the strongest titles in that series, with Bayek being so dope, and having his gangster boo be up in there running around assassinating people together in all this beautiful space. And it was like the first time it was like really deeply embedded within Africa, which was great, and showcased a whole bunch of new cool tech. Yeah, so that game stands out as a fantastic addition to the Assassin's Creed lineup. And Call of Duty wasn't a good game. I didn't really care for it. And I actually did buy Star Wars Battlefront 2, and really enjoyed the time that I had with it, except for when the hero characters came through and just wrecked everybody's faces. And then you were just like, yo, what the hell?
I kind of like that, though. Well. It always looked cool. Even if I got killed, it always looked cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool to see. It was like really fun to see a hero at the other end of the map.
Yeah, destroy people. Yeah, it was
like destroy people and then just dip out or die and get shot, and then you had to wait. But yeah, like I feel like that year was a pretty solid year in terms of, you know, setting things up for 2018, setting expectations for the years coming after that. And kind of laying down the foundation for, you know, making sure that Switch was a real platform that people really enjoyed. People got really excited about anything else that was going to be coming out for Assassin's Creed when people were kind of tired of that franchise. I don't know if that's the same thing for the Battlefront feel. I hope that people give that game a chance whenever the new one comes out. But
I hope so too.
We'll see.
Yeah. I also hope with more people getting on to like Origin Access and EA Access and stuff that people will dive in. So this also has a personal connection with me because this is the year I went to E3. So I got to play a lot of these games at E3, like before they dropped in November. So I have that. So that same way you had that connection with those 2013 games, like I had the connection with these games. So we've gone through the last 5 years, man. What do you think if you had to pick if you had to pick a year that you think was the strongest for your Thanksgiving turkey games.
I mean, I have to go back to 2013. Like I feel like 2013 had a little bit of everything for everyone.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it had a really good, like well-rounded lineup for a lot of different people. If you were a score muncher, you had Resogun. If you loved music, you had Sound Shapes and stuff. If you loved gore, you had Rise and stuff like that. And it's interesting, we didn't really talk about Dead Rising 3, but Dead Rising 3 was a technical showcase for a while too. There was like, how many zombies can we throw on screen? And people were like, oh my god, it's 100 zombies. And it was.
Is that how they sound?
Cool though.
Is that how they sound?
It was all of them, just like that. I was like, Mr. Bill. Oh. But it was like that though, where it was super cool to see like that many things on screen and it not die. So, my pick is 2013. I think that was a super solid year, and I haven't seen a lot of years being able to have matched that well-roundedness since.
Yeah, I agree that 2013 is definitely the most well-rounded. I think for me though, it's got to be. I don't want to do a tie, but it's hard to pick. No, I can't do a tie. I'll say 2017, and mostly because of the surprise. Like, I kind of figured that Mario Odyssey would be pretty good. Didn't think Wolfenstein 2 would be great. Didn't think Assassin's Creed Origins would be great, and didn't think Battlefront 2 would be as good as it was either. So I was more like pleasantly surprised by that year. And I was surprised, and like a lot of that stuff is just, a lot of people still haven't played all those games, I didn't play Origins until earlier this year, which is one reason I haven't dug into Odyssey, because I was like, I feel like I just finished Origins, so yeah, I mean, this is, always a good time for games around this time of year. And as you can see, it's a very consistent, Call of Duty, Battlefield, or Rockstar game that launches. So I didn't want to do it for 2018 yet, but if you did, obviously you have like Red Dead, of course, and a Battlefield, 5, and that stuff. So So any final thoughts?
Yeah, last thought is, again, thank you 2015 for putting Mike Coulter into my life and ruining it. And that's pretty much it.
I feel like you got Luke Cage canceled off of Netflix. Like, I feel like you put in a call. Like,
I tried.
I'm tired of this.
I was like, this is terrible.
I don't want this respectability shit on Netflix.
I'm sick of these bad dabs. I'm sick of them not representing Harlem well. I'm sick of Mike Coulter not knowing how to act, and all the above.
Man. Well, I guess scratch that guest appearance off the list.
I would totally get him on the show.
Not happening. It's not happening now.
I would totally try to get him on the show.
Not happening now.
Like, Mike, can you talk about the dab incident, please?
Oh man.
Can you please talk about the dab? Can you please talk about anyway?
Yeah, he actually made like a video. I remember he recorded a video on Instagram Live or something where he was like, he was like, they told me that it was supposed to be like this. It was supposed to be awkward. Yeah. It was supposed to be an awkward dab. Yeah, he was like apologizing, like he said something racist or some shit. Like it was like one of those fake apologies. It was like one of those pseudo apologies. I mean, I'm sorry that y'all was offended, but yeah.
Sorry, my elbows touch my elbows. Whatever, son.
Yep. All right. Well, this has been episode 264. We will be back with our normal goodness next week. And until then, Kyle, can you, the captain, do the social media business?
Yes, I can. If you want to check out the show, check us out on Twitter at SpawnOnMe. You can check us out every Thursday on Twitch at 7:30 p.m. That's twitch.tv/SpawnOnMe. You can check out my man, my mellow brother Reef at Shareef Jackson on Twitter. You can check out Stubby Stan at Stubby Stan on Twitter. You can check me out at Kajakins on Twitter. And you want to check out our Facebook page, we have a whole bunch of people over there hanging out and doing cool stuff. We are on all podcast platforms that you can think of: Stitcher, Google Play, Overcast, NPR One, Radio Public, all those dope places. And again, you know, our Patreon is there if you want to help support us. Patreon.com/SpawnOnMe. And, you know, throw us a couple bucks. We have some really fun content over there as well for the folks who want to check out some of our After Dark stuff. And yeah, check us out on Instagram, all the other good places, Spawn on Me Podcast there. And come check us out, come hang out with us, and send us some messages if you have some over at our email address, spawnonmepodcast@gmail.com. Or if I was Cicero, I would say at gmail.com.
Nobody can do it like the Baron of Bourbon does.
His voice is too damn deep. I hate him.
I hate him too. Okay, and with our mutual hatred being shared, for Kahlief Adams, for the missing Stubby Stan, who is winterizing his apartment, for Shareef Jackson, this is Spawn on Me, and we say peace.
Peace.